His morning crew with Rob, Allison, and Jim.
Alex Borges, he's a manufacturing engineer, and he started volunteering at a boys' shelter in town, and he discovered a life skill that the boys were not learning, and Alex knew he could help. Well, he's in the studio to talk with us about this ministry. It's called Cook Up. So what did you discover, Alex?
I just discovered kind of by jumping in to serve at the boys' shelter here over on Wade Hampton with Miracle Hill. That I had a gift to teach some kids how to cook, and realized that they would be kind of aging out of the foster system and have to learn a lot of life on their own. Whereas I got out of college and already had a job and family to help me out. And so this was kind of one way that we could teach them how to cook simple, healthy meals and sort of prepare them to take care of themselves and bless others on their own.
Now, we're talking about kids here, so I'm so curious. How receptive were they in learning how to cook?
It took a little while to
Yeah.
kind of let them warm up. They were a little bit apprehensive being in the foster system, and so kind of spending time each week, just a few hours a week, going and essentially just trying to establish relationships was probably the hardest thing. So that took the consistency of going each week and really knowing their names and learning a little bit about their story, and just sort of working with them one-on-one, hands-on on a nice project to then be able to serve the rest of the shelter dinner that night.
I'm so inspired by how you're putting action to God's word and helping orphans, because maybe this isn't the season of life for you to adopt or foster, but that didn't stop you from serving orphans in such a practical way. And you have very specific goals when you go in to do this. It's not just about the food. Can you talk about those goals?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely hope to have kids one day, but this was definitely an outlet for me to be able to serve kids and sort of be a father figure and an example to these kids that really kind of lack a lot of consistency in their lives. And so really just kind of jumped into it, and it didn't go well to start out with. It was sort of trying to do it under my own strength for a few years, and then ended up having a bunch of people wrap around me to help engage the kids even better. So just a shout out to the volunteers real quick, just Allison, Catherine, Melissa, Roxy, Sam, Sammy, and Susan. There's no way I could have done this on my own. I helped build the structure, like you said, but they were way better at engaging the kids and really just making them feel validated and really engaged. So,
What kind of change have you seen in these kids since you started this?
a lot of the kids deal with anger issues based on their past and their history, and so being able to kind of create something with their own hands in a team environment has been really helpful for them, just to sort of calm that, be able to find an outlet for being productive and helping them feel validated, I think. And then just being those consistent faces that come to see them every week, just because that's the most important thing that we have for that night. We go on our birthdays sometimes and they kind of wonder, why are you guys even here? So it's that validation and just sort of helping them feel special and made in the image of God as well. So
I have your cookbook here. So Asian stir fry, there's pizza, chicken fajitas. What's the boys' favorite meal that you make?
it's all over the place, actually, thankfully. So certain kids love different meals. We've actually recently spun off 2 extra meals thanks to the volunteers coming up with extra recipes for turkey chili and a taco baked casserole. So it's really all over the place. I eat too much of all of it, so I'm kind of
You can't tell, dude. You're in shape. You're pretty jacked. That's good. And the food, I mean, the recipes I'm hearing Allison talk about in the Cook Up book is oh, my word, you're really teaching them how to cook. You're just not saying pop a pizza in the oven.
Right. So a lot of those are all recipes that I learned to figure out how to cook on my own when I started working. Mm-hmm. So they're really good for leftovers. They're really scalable. And they're relatively healthy and cheap. So it really kind of hopefully helps them bless themselves and other people once they start working, so that they're not, doing the 4-for-4 menu every meal of their lives. So.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
so
Asian
good.
stir fry is only $2.80.
Oh, for real? Look at that.
Yeah.
We've been
Looks
talking
good.
to Alex from Cook Up. That's the ministry. He's teaching these kids how to cook so that when they come out of the foster system, they are going to do something amazing and incredible. Thank you so much, Alex, for the time. You're doing a wonderful work.